Hello, my name is Sean Hayes. I'm the Managing Director of a company located in Southern Ireland called MTD Precision Engineering, and we design and manufacture components, assemblies, tooling for the life sciences sector. We employ about 20 people, and we're involved primarily in design and manufacture of bespoke equipment used in the biopharma and medical devices sector. Because we're a job shop and we manufacture various components, each one is different. So we needed a solution which allowed us to help us, I suppose, to coordinate the design and manufacturing process and all the various tasks and the different elements under one piece of software. That's the main purpose for the participation in the project. We needed a piece of software to facilitate the process of manufacturing for our particular business needs, and participation in this project allowed us to evaluate each piece of software to see its pros and cons, and by using a systematic approach we were able to evaluate the software that is in the market today. And what we've found out really is that through the help from the project itself, that we really identified our own need. We were able to define our own need. We were able to just to focus on, in our case, a lot of it had to do with the scheduling of our resources and to be adaptive and to have something that was cloud-based. So therefore, the project itself did assist us to define our own need, I suppose. That's what I would really like to say, is that it allowed us to define our own need, to be clear on what we actually required, and to moderate our expectations as well. So overall, the project was very useful. We were able to identify the key requirements for our business going forward. We were lucky to have Chris from the IMR come to our company, work with our staff, look at our process, and what we found was Chris understood our business. He comes from a design and manufacturing background, and that effectively he knows our pain points. He was able to look at our process, give us some advice on the process flow, and look at where we, as a business, our key metrics, how to measure our key metrics. Look at the integration between the manufacturing process, the admin side of things, and the information that our account package did need. So from my perspective, it's essential to have somebody like Chris who understands the day-to-day difficulties that a business like ours would experience, in scheduling in particular, and in particularly scheduling the machinery or the workstations that we use to manufacture parts. So overall, we had a good interaction with Chris, and it's essential that the person who provides that interaction with you understands your business. But the key learning for us was, as a small business, is that sometimes it can be difficult to find one piece of software that fits all. So by having participated in this particular project, we were able to evaluate the software that's available at the moment on the marketplace. Now, some of this software, it's inherently designed for huge, larger corporations who have lots of ability to input the information And for a small SME, we may not have the resources or the people really to keep a large system up to date. So it was very important for us that we find a piece of software that collects the data in a generic way, i.e. you collect the data as the job progresses through, scanning, barcode scanning or RFID coding, and that the scheduling is organic in that manner, that the system, when you move a job from workstation to workstation and you track it, that you get a system that updates itself, And for us, our key element was that it has to be, it needs to be cloud-based, it needs to be driven from the shop floor, and the data collection needs the minimum amount of input from our admin team, and that it's able to give the business unit as a whole, that the business performance is displayed to everybody in a live situation. So effectively, what we did discover was that there are new pieces of software out there. We've actually fixed on one piece of software which we think is worth further consideration. But what we rediscovered is that for a very, very small company like ours, in comparison to larger companies, that it's difficult to find a piece of software which is written for the SME sector. Very easy to find something which is written for, let's say, company sizes of 200, 300 people, an ERP type of system. But it's very hard to find something that's small, neat and tidy and integrates with your accounts package. In our case, we run Xero as our accounts package. We could easily run Sage, but when you get a micro business like ours, we use software that is easily deployed. You have an API from one piece of software. The communication between your accounts package and your ERP system needs to be seamless, and it has to be both ways. You just don't get something that's pushing the information out to your accounts package. It needs to have that two-way communication. And a lot of the old software that's out there is actually designed and is based on the premise that you're going to run that software in-house on your own server. And this is something that we have discovered is not really suited to our need because we're so small. We would need to run that software. We need to have it hosted in the cloud, So we're at the moment trialing another piece of software. As a result of our participation in this program, we were able to effectively discount a lot of the softwares that are, I would call them legacy software, that would not really suit our need. So. The only problem that I encountered during the whole process was me. As managing director, you tend to try to be involved in every little piece of it. So I learned to just back off and let the team here talk to Chris and give their process flow, because in fact my interpretation of our own process flow was actually different to what actually happens in the workshop. The organic way that we move jobs around. So in participating in the project, we had to write it out. We spent a lot of time. I see the guys spent a lot of time as well, just laying it out on boards, putting sticky notes on to see where, the different, identifying your own process flow is the biggest challenge, really. If you can identify your own process flow and the different iterations of the progress of a job from customer inquiry to delivery of the final product to the follow-up, I suppose that was for me, because I'm a disruptor by nature, I suppose that you want the software to do, it can't be all things to all people, it can't do everything in the enterprise. So defining your own need and being clear on your user requirement or your specifications, so specifying it, writing down your specification, so that when we went out to evaluate different softwares, you didn't have the likes of me waffling about what I'd like it to do. It would be nice if I could do this and nice to do that, but at the end of the day, just defining it, you know. So that was the biggest, I suppose, challenge that I had as a manager of the company. I wouldn't call it necessarily a problem, but it was a problem to be overcome, you know, to be able to do that and sit down. That takes time. I would definitely recommend the project to other SMEs, because at the end of the day, we all need help in our business. You know, we all need assistance to help us to do what we do better. And when you get the expertise of the likes of Chris coming to your company, they understand what you do. They understand where your challenges lie. And my belief is that by getting somebody in to look at your business from the outside in, you're getting sometimes you don't like to hear what you're being told, you know, but it's like, you know, useful to get the assistance that we did get to define the best way of doing that, to look at your whole process, you know. So I have no regrets. What we gained out of the project really was an understanding of what we need, our user requirement, and it now has framed our view on softwares that are in the marketplace for a business of our size. So I would highly recommend any SME to actually give it a shot. You know, it's worth it. Definitely worth it. Yeah.